Hey guys, rather than a text post with an image attached and a bunch of red and green slapped all over it, I thought I'd do something a little bit different and do a short video to talk about the predictions for this week of EUL. We are at that kind of Playday 5 point now. It is the halfway mark of the season. So for some teams, their woes are only about to get greater, and for others, their heights are only going to go ever higher. Rogue especially surprising everyone so far, but we can talk about that in a minute. Let's have a look at the games that we've got then. So these are the 5 fixtures for tomorrow, September 27th, and my general thoughts we'll talk through now. Vitality Empire starting things off. In fact, before I go into it, every game is really close. I think this is the closest Playday we will have, based on how things are currently looking. All the games are really even. The talent team is pulling their hair out on who to predict for fair reason. And we'll go through them now. Vitality, they came into the stage with a lot of teams saying, you know, oh, they're just amazing. They're slapping everyone in scrims. They'll top the charts. They'll be the best team this stage. We haven't yet seen that team, and we saw it at the back end of last stage. Fantastic, right up until the final Playday when they went home from boot camp and they didn't play so well. Not sure what it is about these guys when playing online at home. Nowhere near the team they are when they are together. And they were cursed again from getting to LAN back in stage 2 as a result of that. This stage so far, they've been predictable, I think, but up and down like a roller coaster in terms of performance. You're not quite sure what Vitality you're getting on what day. Empire, on the other hand, are, I think, 5th place right now in overall standings. They're definitely close, and a couple more points, they would have been in 2nd place. It is very, very tight at the top. For my money, although they are slow on executes at points and running out of time, I think they have that amazing capability to just walk into a room and kill people that are in there. Sounds like a really kind of simple thing. Yeah, sure, anyone can shoot, but these guys are very, very good at it. For my money, they will probably beat Vitality tomorrow. They're who I'm hedging my bets on. We'll see how it plays out. The second game of Virtus Pro against Heroic, also really spicy. Heroic, I bet on last week. Well, I didn't bet on. I predicted last week to beat Vitality. Didn't happen. Didn't come to light. They didn't look good on Chalet. Vitality looked far better, and that was the short end of it, right? I think against Virtus Pro, who are struggling, you know, they had that win against G2 last week, but when you go back and watch it, it was only really on defense they managed to achieve any kind of greatness, right? Attacks were very messy outside of WTG, pulling off a 1-round win for them with a great rush inside a bathroom. This could be a really... It is a hard game to predict, but for me, I'm doubling down. I'm going for Heroic again. I do believe there is a win in there somewhere for them. I'm just not sure if it's come at the right time. They needed wins earlier in the stage if they were going to save themselves, and that looks to now be too late, unfortunately. So I think Heroic will win it. VP could win. Anyone could win either of their fixtures on any side, I think, here. This is the hard part. Secret G2. Both teams didn't look good last week. Secret, what's to be said? They just didn't really show, right? They didn't look good. They were against Kavana on Clubhouse and got completely schooled by them. It was dicey, and I want to see more from them. I think there is more to come, and they can still save themselves from potentially having to fight it off in relegations, but there's got to be a real rally from these boys now to get themselves up there in the overall standings. I think they're like 5 points behind Rogue right now. You've got to work some magic, boys. G2, on the other hand, no idea what's going on, but they are not the team that we saw going into, say, SI, or looking at going into the Major, for example. It's just not the same G2, and they've really got some issues by the looks of it. They've got to get sorted out, because although on the right day, Citizen can pop off, Virtue's looking slightly more back in form. It's still not the team that we all come to expect from an organisation like G2, and I'm hoping they get their issues sorted. All that said, I still think they beat Secret tomorrow, because Secret did look very, very flimsy last week. BDS Na'Vi, game of the day, I would imagine. I'm not 100% sure, but when you look at 2 giants going up against each other, this is it. This is a scrap of 2 of our top 3 teams, Empire being the other 3rd team I would wager. If Na'Vi hadn't lost to Rogue last week, this would be really hard to call. But I think Rogue just showed a bit of aggression, and Na'Vi, you know, kind of crumbled behind it at points. So I think with how BDS played last week against Empire, 7-2, showed great adaptation at dealing with the player in red on Bank Basement, for example, brought the Flores along and just completely ruined Empire's defense. They are the team to beat right now, so I think they will go on and beat Na'Vi. And the final game of Kavana Rogue, after Rogue played last week, I think it's very easy to be excited about them. Playing this aggressive, ranked play style that, you know, that's not all trying to slate it. It works. You're not going to knock it too much. It can work. The problem is Kavana have only been looking better and better. Last stage, they could not attack to save their lives. C4 from below, long angles not being covered on the point of execution, like you name it. It was not good for Kavana. Since Benja has come in, we've seen Sloth step up in confidence and go like 14-4 on the last play day. Gorgona and Grizzly are still performing as well as they ever did, and you've got Benja fragging out and dropping nearly 20 kills on his first play day. This, for my money, is probably I always say BDS have got the greatest sum total of firepower in Europe, if not the world. Kavana are very fast approaching that point. I don't want to single the guy out, but an Arctic, he's not the strongest gunner in the world. That's probably what kind of stops them being up there for me right now. Not strictly a bad thing. The guys will defend him to the teeth and say that he does a lot for them outside the game. So lots to be excited about for Kavana now and in the future. I think tomorrow Kavana beat Rogue. So a quick recap. Empire, Heroic, G2 down the right side of the bracket. BDS, Kavana in the final two. We then step across to the overall standings so you can see where things sit for the relegation battle. I think this means that technically there is a world that Vitality wouldn't be safe. If, say, they lost all their games and Secret won all of theirs, Vitality would get pulled down, but I think they and Virtus Pro are now safe on 31 and 33. If you look towards Rogue, they aren't 100% safe yet, but their rally so far this stage I think is going to make them safe. They're currently on like 8 points for the stage, they're third place, like it tells you enough, right? Heroic have got to do something special in these next few games or they are done for. I mean, I'm probably already at this point to say they are, but now it's about can Secret fight their way out of the bottom two, which I really don't think they're going to be able to. If Heroic win tomorrow and Secret lose, that is when things get really, really spicy. Because if I'm not mistaken, the final playday has a couple of these lower level teams up against each other. Secret VP, that's kind of a scrap down there. VP probably won't get sucked into it now. I think they're too far away, but there are a couple of good games down there. But for Heroic, they've got Kavana, they've got Na'Vi, they've got G2. They've got themselves Empire. No, like, this is their chance to get points. They need to beat these and G2 and pull off some kind of miraculous comeback and pray that Secret choke, or this is done. But I've got that bet on them for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes for sure. Either way, that's my run through of tomorrow's games and my brief predictions on all of them. They're going to be amazing games. I'm casting games 1, 3, and 5. So we get that Kavana versus Rogue slobber knocker. It's going to be really, really exciting. But hope you guys enjoy the show. Do tune in and look forward to doing this one again next week. Until then, see you later.